Imagine waking up one day to realize that everything you knew had changed. The people you once knew as your neighbor, your mailman, or even your best friend had now become deadly creatures that want you for dinner. Would you survive with the resources you have available to you right now? The idea of zombies may be hard to entertain for some, but if you're properly prepared for these bloodthirsty creatures to take over the land, you're well prepared for any type of disaster that could come your way. We all want to be safe in the event of a disaster. By properly knowing how to plan for a zombie apocalypse, you'll be well prepared for any situation and will be able to keep yourself and your loved ones safe. I've done much research into how to prepare for disaster because you never know when one may occur. Plus, I've watched and read plenty of zombie materials in preparation. I even have a poster on zombie survival in my living room. I want to discuss how to plan for a zombie apocalypse. When preparing, you need to keep three things in mind: protection, nourishment, and shelter. The first thing that should be on your mind during a zombie apocalypse is how you're going to protect yourself. Always use the buddy system and get yourself a hardcore, trustworthy partner. If a gun is your weapon of choice, just remember that you can and you most likely will run out of ammo. Always have a backup weapon, like a large knife, because as Max Brooks says in the Zombie Survival Guide, blades don't need reloading. Also remember, the quieter the better when it comes to weapons. Shooting a crossbow or a bow and arrow is almost silent, and you have the benefit of making more ammo if it comes down to it. As the rules in Zombieland say, double tap. This means don't take any risks, shoot twice, and aim for the head to be sure the zombie's done for. Secondly, you need to think about where you're going to get food and water. I read an article called The Survival Guide. In this article, it states that there's a rule called the Rule of Three. This means that you can survive 3 days without water and around 3 weeks without food. This makes stocking up prior a high priority. Watch expiration dates. Make sure you stock up on food that has a long shelf life. Canned food is good, junk food is even better. Scavenge houses for food and water if needed. If the house owners are zombies, I promise they won't need it anymore, so do so with a clear conscience. Also, rainwater and nearby wells are a good source of drinkable water. Last but definitely not least on your list of priorities is having a shelter. Zombies are very uncoordinated. They can't climb and they hate fire, so be sure you have a shelter that is high up and that you have the ability to create a fire near the entrance to deter any zombies that wander near. Also in the Zombie Survival Guide, Max Brooks mentions that a school is your best shot at a shelter during a zombie attack. It's spacious, there will be food in the cafeteria, there will most likely be water, and it will be easy to lock down. The downfall is that zombies will flock to places like schools and malls because many people will have the same idea. My suggestion is to find a shelter near a mall, shopping center, or a school, and scavenge when necessary. Remember, when selecting a shelter, there's no place that is safe. There are only places that are safer than where you are. I wanted to share some information on how you can keep safe during a zombie apocalypse. I've given you the basics of protection, nourishment, and shelter that need to be taken into account to prepare for a zombie takeover. Once again, I feel that I'm qualified to talk to you about this information because I've done a great amount of research on preparing for this and the benefits that there are by doing so. The next time a hurricane comes our way, remember to plan for the zombie apocalypse, and you should all be well prepared. Don't procrastinate. Begin making your plans now or you will regret it later. As Max Brooks says, if you believe you can accomplish everything by cramming at the 11th hour, by all means don't lift a finger now. But you may want to think twice about beginning to build your ark once it's already started raining. Thank you.